My name's Devin. We are here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, where we manufacture all of our motorized power screens. I'm here today to kind of show you our facility, how we make our screens, and what makes them a little bit different. We've been manufacturing motorized screens for about 5 years now. We've been in business for 30 years, and we spent the first 20 some years of our business buying motorized screens from other manufacturers. And about 10 years ago, we saw an opportunity in the market, kind of a hole in the market for a high-end screen that was manufactured for our type of climate. And that's when we kind of set out to build a team to manufacture our own product. So today we're in our facility and want to show you some of the features and things that makes our screen different. At Suncoast, every retractable power screen that we manufacture is custom size, custom fit for its opening. We have invested in machinery to help us manufacture these screens because we want to do it with the highest level of precision. The machine behind me is our automated CNC cut table that actually cuts the mesh to size. So this machine pulls the mesh out onto the table. The mesh is actually suctioned down to the table so that it doesn't pucker or wrinkle as it is cut. And then the machine has a blade that cuts the mesh to the perfect size for every single project. In the industry, there's two major ways that screens are held into their track systems. Some companies use a Keder system, which I've got an example of here, which is a plastic kind of rod that is attached to the side of the screen. And other companies use a zipper. Here we manufacture all of our retractable screens with a zipper system on the sides. The zipper is a really great product. Nothing is zipping in or out of anything, but the zipper is extremely malleable, so it can roll up into the housing very nicely, and it stays flexible in all weather, so it doesn't matter if it's 100 degrees outside or 30 below zero. This stays malleable and will continue to travel and work well. The Keder system is a fair bit stiffer. It doesn't bend as nice, and also in extreme weather, extreme heat, extreme cold, is a little more finicky. So here, the machine behind me is what we use to attach our zipper to the side of the mesh that was cut on the CNC cut table. So this machine is a radio frequency welder that attaches the zipper to the screen at a molecular level, which means that weld is now the strongest point on the screen, and the zipper can never come detached from the screen that it's welded to. Now that the mesh is cut and the zipper is attached, this is the bottom corner of the retractable screen. This is one of the spots that takes a lot of wear and tear as the screen travels up and down. So we take the time to add additional material in this corner, we back stitch, and we make this as strong as possible so that your screen will last 20 years without you ever having to worry about it. Now that the mesh has come out of the fabric room where it's been cut and the zipper's been attached to it, we now come here to our assembly station. This is where we actually attach the mesh onto the structural roll tube. So this is the tube that the material will roll up onto inside the housing. This here is a light table where we do our third and final check. So the mesh sometimes has defects in it from the manufacturer. So as we're cutting it on the cut table and as we're welding on the zipper, we're checking for defects. And this is our last and final check to make sure that we don't ship out anything with a missed stitch or any form of defect. So as we roll this on to the tube here, we're looking for defects. We roll it up, and now it's packaged ready to be installed at your home. So this is the piece that we call our bottom bar. So this is the aluminum piece that's attached to the bottom of your mesh, which pulls the screen down with gravity to the floor. There's a weather stripping and gasket options that we install here to get a seal on your deck surface. And then this cavity is what we fill with steel weight. So the bottom bar is very heavy, which is what helps it operate smoothly and slide to the floor. When we put the steel inside this bar, we put more steel on the edges than we do in the middle, which again helps it pull smoothly down in the track system and hang nice and flat in your deck opening. All of our components at Suncoast here, we build for the extreme kind of weather and climate that we live in here in Canada. So we pride ourselves on having really heavy duty aluminum extrusions for all of our components, our tracks, our housings, our bottom bars. Everything is built heavy and to withstand all of Mother Nature's forces. So here we've got our housings, which is what your screen rolls up into. We've got our bottom bar that we've shown you, and our tracks are cut in a way that the screen will funnel into those tracks smoothly. One thing that we've tried to do with all of our products is eliminate plastic pieces and components, things that are going to break down and deteriorate over time. So our tracks, again, we take the time to make, a tricky and kind of finessed cut here so that in the field they'll function perfectly and there'll be nothing for anyone to maintain or replace. Here we have kind of the motors and controls that we offer with our motorized screens. We've partnered with out of Italy for all of our motors. We've been extremely impressed with their products. Their products are made in Italy and specifically made for retractable power screens. So they've got different motor options depending on the size and speed that you want your screen to run at. We've got heavy duty motors, kind of standard motors, even a DC motor for solar powered or other options like that. They also have a whole myriad of control options depending on remotes or keypads or smart controls, Wi-Fi controlling from your smartphone. So many options, and they're continually innovating and improving. So we're extremely proud to offer Gaposa motors and controls with all of our screens. We can manufacture motorized screens anywhere from 3 feet wide all the way to 30 feet wide. Also anywhere from a very short drop all the way up to about 15 feet tall. So here what we've got is our structural components. So these are the roll tubes, again, that the mesh rolls up onto inside of the housing. So I've got two side by side here. This is what we would call our 7-inch roll tube. This tube can go up to 30 feet long and is heavy duty for all the large openings we do. And then this is our standard roll tube that we use on screens that are less than 22 feet wide and less than a 12-foot drop. So these are the two different options that we have, and we use them interchangeably in projects depending on the size and height of each opening. Here we're showing you our track system for our retractable screens. It is a 2-piece track that we use on most of our installs. So you see I've got the cover in my hands here. So this cover goes on and just clicks into place, covering up all of our fasteners, as well as this gives us a chase for all of our wiring. So our goal with every installation is to run the wiring totally hidden so you don't see any exposed wires. On this install, the wiring is running down one of these chases under the deck and then powered by one of the outdoor outlets. This project here has our tough screen no seam. So this is a mesh that will keep out even the teeny tiny bugs. And again, you can see here our track system. This screen is integrated with one of our louvered roofs. Something that makes Suncoast unique is that we manufacture and powder coat all of our own products. So our screens, our louvered roofs, any of our patio cover options are all manufactured in the same manner. So here you can see the zipper track system with the screen. We've got our 2-inch rubber on the bottom, which is sealing the screen on the deck. Something that makes Suncoast unique is that because of our CNC cut table and our manufacturing abilities, we can also cut the screen at a taper. So if this deck, or if this was a concrete pad, for instance, and there was slope to it, we will cut the screen with a matching slope to the surface, so when it comes down, it sits and seals on that ground very nicely. So this mesh here, the tough screen no seam, it blocks about 62% of the sun and the wind. There's options anywhere from this all the way up to 95% block. So depending on the intended purpose, whether it's sun protection, wind protection, or just keeping out the bugs, we've got mesh options for all of that. All of our mesh is manufactured by Pfeiffer, so it's a really high-grade fiberglass screen that's not going to sag or stretch out over time. It'll last a lifetime. The only thing a homeowner really needs to do is keep it clean. All of our screens can be left in the down position in extreme weather as well. So if you're going away for the winter, or if you're gone during some extreme weather, the only caution we have is operating the screens in the extreme weather, but they're totally fine in the down position and can handle hurricane winds and have been tested in the harshest climates. All of Gaposa motors are built in with triple obstacle detection, which helps the screens to lower. If there's wind gusts or things that inhibit it, it'll roll itself back up and then keep trying. What this does is stops the screen from back rolling on itself, which limits service calls, gives you the confidence that when you're lowering that screen through the app, maybe you're not home or your screens are on a schedule, you know that your screen is going to get itself down to the ground, assuming there's no obstacles in the way. I hope that this has been helpful to see how our retractable screens are designed, are manufactured. Again, all of these screens are custom built for each opening. One thing that I maybe didn't touch on was, obviously every opening is not a rectangle like this, so we also have fixed screen materials for triangular openings or any of the odd situations. We've got corporate offices all across Canada, dealers in the United States, and we've installed these products anywhere from Alaska to Australia to Hawaii. So we have all the confidence in the world in this product and how it performs, and we encourage you to reach out with any questions, concerns, or things that are unique to your project.